We hope we have a good test and we hope we do very well. Financially only, not on the park.
But I think we've got to win because if we don't, I think the Australians will think that we're a lot in the waters and we're not.
You can only give your best. And I think our boys will give 80 minutes of sheer endeavour.
The 1982 Kangaroos have arrived in Britain, and I asked coach Frank Stanton if after their run of success there was going to be any additional pressures on his touring side.
Well, obviously the Australian public would like to see us win, and we didn't come here to lose. But we realise it's going to be an extreme challenge. It's probably one of the hardest challenges Australian Rugby League's had for a long, long time, and we're prepared to meet it and we're prepared to work hard to get there.
I asked skipper Max Krilich how he thought his younger players would perform.
Well, the competition's going to be very hard. You know, all the young players are very skilled in their game, but they'll come through okay. They all play in the top league in Sydney and Brisbane, so they'll come through all right.
Peter, you're one of the younger lads in the touring party. How are you looking forward to the tour?
Oh, I'm obviously looking forward to it as much as everyone else is. It's a bit of a dream come true for me, so now I'm looking forward to a good tour over here.
What did you feel like when you knew you'd been selected?
Well, you know, it's probably the greatest thrill of my life. It's obviously something you work very hard for, and you know, ever since I was a young kid, I've always wanted to play for Australia. So it's, you know, as I say, it's probably the fulfilment of a dream for me.
Frank and Tom, this is your first tour and you're co-managers for the Australian touring side. How are you looking forward to the tour?
Well, we're looking forward to the tour greatly. The Australian team is the #1 team in the world of rugby league, and we hope to retain that title when we return back to Australia.
Yes, we think the selectors have given us the nucleus of a side that can match it with anyone around the place. It's an exciting side, a blend of youth and experience, which should go very well.
In Australia, you've had a fairly lengthy season and a hard season at that, and now you're taking on a lengthy tour of Great Britain and France. How do you think the lads are going to stand up to that?
Well, I think they'll stand over pretty well. It's not the season in Australia only amounted to about 2 games more than what they usually play, and they stood up those conditions before, and I don't think they're any different to what they are today.
Well, I think we must be approaching Yorkshire now because all of a sudden the sun's come out. So, gentlemen, have a happy stay and let's hope we see a good test series. Thanks very much indeed. So it's a happy but rather tired squad that go on the last leg of their extremely long journey towards their final destination and headquarters in Leeds. And they will be confident following their record 9 test victories. And so the 1982 Kangaroos reached their tour headquarters in Leeds. And here they were greeted by rugby league official David Howes.
Everyone's upstairs to move for you. Okay, so just a couple of positions, lads. Maybe not seeing everyone's upstairs for you.
Right, David, how are you? Good morning.
Good point, there you go. Right, thank you.
So now the big moments arrived. The Australian tourists are here. How are you feeling?
Oh, delighted. I think all the planning, the months of planning, all the telephone calls, all the meetings we've had, when you see them step off the bus, we've now got a tour. And we now know we've got 7 weeks of hard work. We think a lot of enjoyment, and we're hoping a lot of good rugby league, both for Great Britain and Australia. And we think this tour will do our game a tremendous amount of good, not only for the next 2 months, but of course as a springboard to future success.
Well, finally, to put you on the spot, how are the tests going to go?
The tests will be tremendous football. The Australians are undoubted favourites. They've won the last 9 test matches on the trot. We think we can pinch it 2-1.
Here we go.
He shot for the lead. You have to look at his camera one time. Oh, he's fallen! He's fallen! There's a new leader now. Snakes and ladders.
Look, no hands.
This is going hard,
Official. Now look at him. Try stand in the middle.
So far this game, it's been the forwards trying each other out. We've had very little movement from the backs. Tackling absolutely ferocious. And he's going down the tunnel. Steve Trips driving in from the play the ball here. Rod Reddy, number 12, there he is, and it looks like a stiff uppercut. Mr. Lindop right on the spot. And he's picked Rod up straight away, and that's a sad start to Rod Reddy's tour. Whether that will quieten things down, I don't know, but certainly the forwards have been sorting each other out so far, and there's been very little room for open rugby. And Holstock and Boyd, while all this is Holstock and Boyd having a little argument. I think Watkinson will go. I think Watkinson's going to go down the tunnel. He went in foolishly then, no doubt about it. But play goes on in the meantime, close to the Hull Kingston Rovers line. Australians looking dangerous. Young, Morris, short ball to Sterling. Young to Brentnall, almost there. Brentnall getting up in the line. That looks a simple enough try by Young. 0 to Australia. Burton. Penalty. Steve Rogers penalised. Another one goes down the tunnel. I have a feeling that Rogers is going to walk for language. So Les Boyd goes off for what can only be described politely as improper use of the tongue. It's over. Robinson, Burton getting it out. Lowe, Phil Lowe is away. He's got Hartley with him, he's kicked ahead. Lowe and Hartley going for this, and Rebo's missed, it's going to be a try. Hartley, Rebo couldn't gather. Hartley running well, a good break by Steve Hartley. Oh, great running. Strong, sliding Clark. Oh, he's missed it. George Fairbairn letting Oz off the hook this afternoon. That's his 5th kick, and that's half-time. So a great moment for Hull Kingston Rovers to score.
A lot of possession at the moment. Max Hilditch there, number 9, a very good one at that still on. David Watkinson, of course, for Rovers, back in the dressing room.
And a penalty to Australia, so a chance for the leeway to be pulled back to 8-7. It's a simple penalty. Meninga, it's there, 8-7. Small pack, Sterling has it, Sterling, oh, he's broken clear, Sterling's going himself, looking for growth, what a strong little fella, what a try, all the wide, 35 yards, this little scrum half, he just wouldn't be tackled. Vital kick, Australia need every point. It's a good one, excellent kick by Meninga, picking up once more, but there's a gap on that left-hand side. And away, it's Clark, young Gary Clark's away. Penalty, Brentnall obstructing Clark. Under the post. 10-12. Australia pulling out their repertoire of moves now after the... Krilic to Sterling, he's in, under the post, what a good try. 15-10 to Australia, and now 17-10 with Meninga's goal. Sterling coming into the move, Kenny, Muggleton, Rogers, What a lovely try. Superb finish by Steve Rogers. A beautiful bit of running and handling. Muggleton, the final pass to Rogers. Meninga makes it 10-22. Warning bells must be ringing for Colin Hutton on the Great Britain side. Here's Sterling. He's that's Lewis. And that man Sterling was in again, and Lewis, the back substitute, gets his try. Yes, 27-10. Into injury time now. Rovers, can they get a last consolation try? Crooks. Burton wasn't really looking for the ball then. I think he was half expecting the tackle. He'd lost possession. Oh, here's Meninga. Here's Meninga finding a gap, going through it. He may make the line himself. He's going, yes he will. What a lovely try. From inside his own half all the way. Mel Meninga to complete a good afternoon for him with the kick at goal. It's hanging in the air. It's short. He doesn't really matter. The score is Hull Kingston Rovers 10, Australia 30.
82 Kangaroos tour. 11 men playing 12 is never very satisfactory, but in the end the 11 men, the Kangaroos, won and won well, going away, as they say in racing terms. They're clearly going to be very formidable opponents indeed.
In the first half we kind of kept it in place and we didn't swing it out wide too much and keep the ball moving, and at the half time he told us to swing around a bit, and we did, and we got results.
And here come the Kangaroos, off to an impressive start at Hull Kingston Rovers last Sunday, where they won by 30 points to 10, and hoping, no doubt, to repeat that 28-2 scoreline here 4 years ago. Oh, a very unsatisfactory kick, and this has perhaps given a chance to loose forward Pearce, and perhaps the first try of the game. It's come inside, and it's an easy enough try for Paul McCabe, who deserves it as much as anyone. This is Bamber. He's a willing lad, this. Plenty of spirit, Lee Bamber. Kiss, who's back on his feet and okay. Shaw, taken out of it by Brown and Muggleton. Oh, and in hard, there goes John Muggleton, and scenes really reminiscent of what happened at Craven Park in the first game. And that all developed as the Wigan player wanted to get off the floor. John Muggleton went flying in, the touch judge on the pitch, the trainers are on the pitch, and there's going to be a round-table conference there as to what happened and what happens now. Wally Lewis sensibly coming in to try and calm things down. Mortimer to play the ball, inside one, inside two, little kick ahead. Oh, he's still there, might get there, but Nicky Kiss first. Oh, in surely now, and Muggleton gets the try. And that can only go down as another sad lapse on the part of the Wigan defence, which... Oh, and good play by Pendlebury, very good play by Pendlebury, looking for Foy, in support, he found him, so did Schubert. Mortimer. And the ball's coming over once more. Oh, and a good chance here for McCabe. Has he got his man in? He has, over on that far side. Well, it was a funny way to get the try. And it was Gary Bowstead who gets his first try of the tour. Oh, and a great chance for Campbell, who's got through. Henderson Gill, can he get to the line? He can! Great try by Gill. Campbell made the running. Gill squeezed it at the corner, despite the two Australians. Kiss. And Pendlebury going for a real up and under. That's a really dodgy one. Oh, it's knocked on. Who's got the ball under all that little lot? But it would be nice for the Australians if they could finish off in style. They haven't got long in which to achieve that. Here's McKinnon, who almost scored a second or two ago. And there, in fact, goes the hooter. The Australians maintain a 100% record from the tour's first two games. They beat Hull Kingston Rovers by 30 points to 10. Now they've beaten Wigan by 13 points to 9. Far from disgraced.
Quite pleased with our lads tonight. I think they've put a tremendous performance and they've competed to the end, which is must be very heartwarming to the English selectors to see that we can beat the Australians if we go and take the ball to them.
You could in fact have snatched it at the end.
Well, I think if the man in the middle had been a little bit more kind to us for the game, I think we could have won the game, but they played well and they're not a bad side.
Actually, you've mentioned the referee there in a subtle sort of a way, but really the game was never allowed to flow in the way it might have been.
Well, you can check it how you want it. It's 28 penalties in a game, and when 13,000 spectators come and play £3 a time, I think the man in the middle should be seen a lot less than what he's been seen.
What were your thoughts about the Australian team in general?
Very impressed. I think the second row boy, I think he had a superb game.
McCabe.
I thought he was the man of the match.
Paul, a great cheer went up in the dressing room a few minutes ago when it was announced that Paul McCabe was the team's man of the game. Were you surprised to get the award?
Yes, John, I was in a way. It's really a great honour for the boys to elect me as their man of the match, but along with myself there was a couple of other very good performances in the match in Wayne Pearce, and I thought Donnie McKinnon took the ball up well all night, took it up to the Pommy forwards, and it was a great effort on his behalf, and it was a good all-round effort by the boys. Actually, we stuck to our guns and it was a great all-round defensive effort.
Actually, from your point of view, it did seem to me you were determined to get stuck into the game in those opening stages. I mean, I kept looking at the number on your back and there you were doing the tackling.
Yeah, John, well, it's as you know, it's my first game in England, and I was determined. I find it easier to get involved in a game if you start right from the beginning, the word go, get involved, and I find it a lot easier for the game to flow on, and that happened tonight, luckily.
You didn't have it all your own way, though. I mean, Wigan could have won it in the end.
Mate, they're a great side, Wigan. You know, I'm sure that they have the greatest defensive record in the league over here, and I can see how they've earned that record. It's really a great effort by the Wigan side.
During a poor first half, during which Barrow went in front with a Steve Tickle goal, Australia scored the first try of the match. Fullback Ian Schubert going over from a Wally Lewis pass. Steve Ella missed a simple goal kick. Barrow at this stage were matching Australia, but were unable to penetrate a solid Kangaroos defence. Following a half-time dressing down by coach Frank Stanton, it was a different Australia in the second half. Greg Canescu going over and Wally Lewis adding the goal points. Five minutes later, Mark Murray put Wayne Pearce in for a try. Again, Lewis kicking the goal. The impressive Mark Murray was next to score with an excellent individual try. And Wally Lewis again kicked a good goal. The Barrow side had lost a lot of heart when substitute Ray Brown put in Ian Schubert for his second try of the match. Loose forward Wayne Pearce was the pick of the now rampant Australian side and nearly broke through with 8 minutes left. It was easy going now for Australia when the ball went down the line for Steve Ella to get their sixth try. Four minutes from time, Rod Reddy got the ball away to Mark Murray, who made the break. An inside pass to substitute Steve Rogers, and it was Steve Rogers that went over for the final try of the match. And Steve Rogers himself kicked the goal to give a final score: Barrow 2, Australia 29. Frank, 3-2 at half-time, bit of a scrappy first half, and Barrow were well in it, but the second half something different.
Well, I thought it was a terrible first half on our players' performance. It's one of the worst performances I've seen some of our players turn in for a long while. The coach, Frank Stanton, gave them a little bit of a dressing down at half-time, and it proved the results. They rose to the occasion and they played a hell of a lot better football in the second half.
Is it something to do with the team changes, selections to give everybody a game? Do you think the side needs to settle down, and this is probably what added to it in the first half?
Well, seeing it's only early in the tour for us, it's going to take the players time to settle down, and as you said, the team changes do make an effect. The players don't get to know each other properly till they get on the field, but as we go on, I believe we'll mould into one real good team and possibly two real good teams.
Well, you've got a game at St Helens on Sunday, and then of course you go to Headingley on Wednesday next week, and Leeds top of the First Division, although they lost a hole the other evening. Do you think that's probably going to be one of your sterner tests before the test matches?
Well, as I said early in the piece here, we're prepared to take each game as it comes, and we'll weigh up each game as we play the game, and we won't take anyone easy, and I believe that the games will progressively get harder and harder.
Wayne, you've just been voted the Players' Player of the Match in there. How do you feel about that?
It was a shock to me. There's a lot of other players played well. I thought the halfback, Mark Murray, Les Boyd, there was a lot of good performances, and they all come to the fore in the second half when we settled down.
Well, still no score here at Knowsley Road. 7 minutes gone. Australia on the attack. Max Krilich, acting halfback. Sterling, Muggleton. Kicks it through. Bousted must score here. Yes, he's got the first try of the match. Australia go into the lead. 7 minutes gone. 3 points to 0. Sterling. To Boyd. Powerful man, Les Boyd. Once again, Krilich acting halfback. And Boyd goes forward. Can he make it? And the referee's given the try. St Helens trying to break clear. No trailing, holding, breaks clear. Slips it inside to Platt, but he's held. St Helens still in possession. They break again. Gelling, big man, number 10, goes through, but he's stopped straight away by Greg Brentnell. Sterling. John Muggleton changes his mind, goes the other way, slips it to Rogers. Good tackle coming in, but he gets it away to Bousted. He's going to get his second try of the match. 34 minutes gone. Sterling once again to Boyd. And he slips through that tackle, and that's poor covering. And he's got another try, so he's got 2 tries. St Helens on the attack, holding, clips it through. And Grove picks up. Gets past one tackle, passes second. And there's no way he's going to be caught now. The big number 2's going in for his first try of the match. And 2 minutes of the second half gone. Growth again. Big strong man, Rogers. Slipped in inside, Muggleton. And that was a loose pass. Sterling gets it clear. Now it's Growth again. Has he got the legs? Gets past that tackle. He's going to score his second. And that was an excellent try from Australia. Australia again. Sterling. Seen plenty of action. Pearce there. It goes out to Rogers. Cover coming across, but they're not going to catch him. So Rogers scores his second try in consecutive games. Craig Young trying to get through there. Boyd slips it to Sterling. What a simple try. Australia running riot now. 30 points to 0. And Meninga kicks his 4th goal of the game to bring the score to 32-0. Seconds away from the hooter. And there it goes, and Australia keep their 100% record, winning here against St Helens, 32 points to 0.
Are you playing in the pound of hole business, Wally, or what?
Yeah, he's playing me.
What?
Well, you bet him and I'll bet him, or I'll bet Wally, pound of hole.
Huh?
No, I'm betting you, pound of hole.
Yeah. We're playing a 3-ball, aren't we?
Yeah, but I'll just bet you and bet him too.
So you just want to play us both then?
Why don't you just play
Well,
I'll bet everyone.
I'll just come along for the ride.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah. You just enjoy the game, Wally.
Shot, Wally.
Good draw.
Hello. Good shot, Will. Pull up. Oh, all right, then. What's still going on? I looked at that and I was dead set.
So the Australians come here to Headingley with a fine record behind them. They've won their opening 4 games of the tour, and it's 26 years since they lost here against Leeds. But it should be remembered that Leeds currently enjoying a fine run of success, and they are the leaders in the domestic competition. Back for Boyd. Tricky customer. Sterling again, making a little dancing skip between 2 Leeds defenders. Couldn't quite get through, but it's looking promising for the Australians. Kenny to Rogers. Can he get through? Yes, he can, and Rogers is going in for the first try of the night. The first tackle around his neck didn't count, and so Steve Rogers goes in for his 4th try of the tour in 5 games. Young has got it away to Meninga, and here's a winger who's got a great chance. Kerry Bowstead. Oh, well, that was lightning, and they almost didn't exist, the defence. Kerry Bowstead is having a very good tour indeed. That's the 4th try he's scored. We've got a couple in the last match at St Helens, and Bowstead there absolutely flying in from the flank, and nothing was going to stop him. Again, some telling passing from John Holmes. He's got the ball now. Nicely released to Lesdale, who's going. Can Dill go all the way himself? Oh, inside 1, inside 2. Forced to Wendell's tackle. Pearce. Oh, going well, and if Pearce has got the strength in the legs here, he must surely get a chance for getting Kerry Bowstead in. Meninga now, who's strong and powerful, and that's just how strong and powerful. Well, I said earlier that Meninga took some stopping once he was on the burst, and he took the try well, but a great break by the loose forward Pearce. Now Holmes looking for another route. Puts in a high kick. Eric Groth is under it and fails safely. Goes on the outside, the flying wingman. Oh, this is going to be a great score if he gets to the line as he does. Fine try indeed by Eric Groth. From the minute he took the catch from John Holmes' clearance, he was going to take some stopping just now. Moving it out, oh, Bowstead flying away down that wing, inside 1. Meninga surely going to canter in for his 2nd try. And they're really turning it on now, these Kangaroos. Applause for Meninga all around the ground. Ella going one way and then the other. Brentl's up in the line, so is Rogers. Oh, he couldn't quite get it away. He might keep going himself. He was pinned, and Ella is going to get over by the... Yes, he's over, is Steve Ella, under the posts. And now it's being swung out right. Oh, and Kenny's through the gap. Oh, this is brilliant by Kenny. And Ella is surely going to go over in the far corner of the pitch. He's there all right, is Steve Ella for his second try. Kenny made the initial break after the ball had been swung right by Steve Rogers. Rogers getting out of one tackle, feeding Kenny, and Kenny's acceleration took him into a favourable position to get Ella in for his second try and the Australian 7th. To play against the Australians in a club side, what do you think?
It does, yes, because having toured in 70 and played them in the World Cup in 70 over here and then 73, I've never played against them whilst I've been playing for Leeds. It's always a pleasure. I mean, to play touring side, it stimulates the excitement, not only in the crowd but in the players as well. Some of the players tend to be a little bit overawed, but believe me, these lads are very, very professional. They the last time I played them, what was 9 years ago, and yes, they're improving all the time. The fitness, they play the basics so good, so fast. You've really got to be on your mettle to stop them.
Brian Lockwood has said he reckons that this is probably the best Kangaroo side ever to come to Britain.
Yeah, they've won every match quite convincingly, and at the moment we can't really deny what Brian's said. It looks that way. They made a very impressive start. They're rattling up lots of points, good tries against good club sides. You know, the testing time will come, of course, a week on Saturday when
That's
the first
absolutely
test.
right. Can you
That's
see
right.
any way at the moment that Britain can beat them?
I can, because if our lads, it's a case of getting amongst them. There were just one or two occasions tonight where we just put them under pressure, but we couldn't maintain it. We couldn't sustain any flow. I do hope that the Great Britain squad have lived together, they've trained together well, and that not only will they be on the toes, they will be equal to the sort of match, and that if they get amongst them, hopefully they can beat them.
You've come up against a rare old personality, I reckon, tonight in Eric Growth. Now, he looks a bit different with that wild woolly beard, and he can fly a bit.
He certainly can. I sort of didn't really get to very close grips with him really for something like 60 minutes of the game. But then Johnny Holmes kicked a nice ball to him, you know, and he got lots of room to work in. Well, of course, he went down on my right-hand side, and I don't think he sort of moved about 2 feet from the wing on a straight line, and he got a very impressive try.
So, I mean, the crowd have gone away disappointed, and yet, like you, I imagine, extremely impressed. It's been an enjoyable experience.
Well, it is, obviously. We're all professional sportsmen, we like to win. I don't like to sort of get beat, I don't even like to be humiliated in defeat, but nevertheless, you've got to give credit where credit's due. It's going to take a good side to beat them, and I hope our lads can rise to the occasion.
Eric, we've just been talking to your opponent tonight, Alan Smith, about the try in particular that you scored. Just tell us about your side of things.
Well, I was pretty lucky more than anything. He lost his footing on the side, which let me get past him, and from then on it was just straight forward to the line.
He's one of the most experienced wingers we've got in Britain as well. I think he might have tried to old-man you a little bit by forcing you inside.
Yeah, I had to get him back anyway, because he beat me in a tackle over here in the first half.
Was it an enjoyable game to play? Because, I mean, you're winning so many matches by big margins that people are suspecting you've not had a true test yet.
Yeah, I think we're getting the referees on our side a bit more this time too, like on the last tour. Apparently I heard that the referees gave the Australians a hard time, which made it hard to win games, you know.
If you go into the first test match with a string of big victories behind you, is there any danger at all of complacency, do you feel?
I don't think so. All the boys know what it's all about, and there'll be no complaints here at all.
Well, David, for all their attacking so far, the Australians have been a little bit slipshod at times near the line.
Yeah, I think we're seeing again that there is definitely a first-team panel of players who are that one class above a lot of the players on here today. There's 4 or 5 lads who are playing for a test spot, either on the bench or in the team itself. But it's surprising when the key men are missing, how the fluidity of the Australians is reduced. But this first score, whichever way it goes, is going to be a real moral booster to which side gets the points on the board.
There must be a chance here. Australia have the ball. The big man, McKinnon, trying to force his way over. And they'll be queuing up for this first try, one imagines now, as the ball is slipped inside them. Oh, it was Schubert who slipped. He's got the ball away to Murray, though, who gets that first try that we were talking about. Easy enough in the end. And Mark Murray, who scored in his first appearance of this tour at Barrow, scores again on his second appearance. And Rod Reddy again gets into the gap. Oh, and a nice little bit of interplay. Schubert to Ella. Outside him is Anderson. Ella might get there himself. Oh, and he's gone round on the outside and did so well not to put a foot in touch at all. And that is a magnificent try by Steve Eller. How on earth he managed to avoid putting a foot in touch, I'll never know. Appeals for a forward pass not given, and a chance for Eller to get his second try. A mere 7 or 8 yards away from the Welsh try line. Eller trying to go it alone and does so well. And Steve Eller in for his second try in the space of only, 3 or 4 minutes. And they take the steam out of the opposition, ready, throwing the ball around. Now McCabe coming on the burst. Out onto that far side, and this must be another try in the far corner. And well taken it was by John Rebo. And Rebo gets his first try of the tour. And that's exactly what Wales didn't want to happen, so Eller sets off on another jinking run. Oh, he's got an awful long way. He should never have got that far, Steve Eller. But as David Howe said, he's been as sprightly as anyone in this first half and has done his cause no harm at all. Brown, the long ball out there for Schubert, who's strong, so is Rebo. This time he is in, and nobody could have any qualms about that try at all. There is not a complaint anywhere in the ground as John Rebo gets his second try. Still not got over the line in this second half. Which, of course, the Welsh best spell in the first half was in the opening minutes. Ready, this time Eller is in for his hat-trick. And Steve Eller really underlining his test claims, no question about that. He skipped through then without any trouble at all, and in for his third try of forward. And that really would encourage the crowd here if the Welsh could snatch a try. Williams, they're roaring him on, he's made it! Brimmore Williams punches the air. He gets his first try in International Rugby League. And that Australian record has been broken. Mortimer, his half-back partner Murray, now ready. Good bit of tackling there by Shaw, by Ringer holding him down, but just for the second. And now Murray, and the ball must totally come inside, and Ellis got his fourth try. And every one of them has been right under the posts, and Steve Eller is having an absolute field day. And again, and now Lewis, and Lewis is going in for the try. Lewis is over just at the moment that the announcement was made that Eller has indeed been named man of the match. 37-7. Disappointed by the margin of the result, I'm sure.
Yes, obviously disappointed, but one has to be a realist in sport and not to run away from the situation. They were far better organised, they were a far better team on the day. They have played exceptionally well already on this tour, and they've already posed Britain many threats, I think, for the Test series starting next Saturday. We got together on Friday. It's very difficult when you have a team of players together just for 2 training sessions and to go straight into an international match against a side who were armed with all the armoury that they had, and they looked good. I think they gave the Welsh public a good impression with good backing up, good running and a lot of good tries which people appreciated.
Do you think your problems might be eradicated to some extent if you can get a good side here at Cardiff which can get into the First Division and attract perhaps even more quality players?
I think that's a case. I think at this moment in time, rugby league, except for the very top sides, is going back somewhat. We play the ball slowly. We don't back up as well as we should do. We don't lie deep enough to run onto the ball. We don't straighten the line up often enough. And I think this is a basic fault at the moment. And it was good to see today a side doing all these basic things properly. And one can only realise when they are done properly how effective they can be, no matter what the opposition is.
Yes, I'm just wondering, actually, following on from that question. I mean, Fulham started, 3 years ago. Now we've had yourselves and Carlisle. As the game spreads, or it seems to be spreading at the moment, do you think it'll get better?
Well, I'm sure it will do. What we're looking for here in Cardiff is an alternative sport against what traditionally is a rugby union country. And I think that if we can attract good players here, I think the game is a good spectacle. And if we can attract good players here and have other international sides to tour here as well, then it can do nothing but good for the game. And this is what the game's all about, is spreading the gospel, because rugby league is a very good spectator sport and good.
6, 7, 28. Oh, good number.
I'll read the team out as it's numbered. It's number 1, Greg Bretnell. Number 2, Eric Graf. Number 3, Mal Meninga. Number 4, Steve Rogers. Number 5, Kerry Burstead. Number 6, Brett Kenny. Number 7, Peter Sterling. Number 8, Craig Young. Number 9, Max Krillich, captain. Number 10, Les Boyd. Number 11, Wayne Pearce. Number 12, Rod Reddy. Number 13, Ray Price. Number 14, Steve Ella. Number 15, John Muggleton. Number 16, Wally Lewis. And number 17, Rod Morris. That's the test squad, the team in the test squad. The duty boys, Ian Schubert, Rod Morris and Rowan Hancock. The timekeepers be Steve Mortimer and Greg Kaneskia. The statistics is Mark Murray, Chris Anderson and Paul McCabe. On the gates be John Rebo, Don McKinnon, Wally Lewis and Gene Miles. And the sand boy is Ray Brown.
Hey, Brown. Big Dave Brown.
John, the lads are just completing their final preparations for the first test match here at Boothby Park on Saturday against the Australians. How are things gone?
Well, they've gone very, very well. And the attitude of the players has been tremendous. And the weather's been very, very kind to us, so we've got plenty of training in. And we're feeling well as a side. We've worked very well together, so, you know, on the day we hope we put it all together and it comes good.
How do you think Des Drummond to cope with the big lad growth?
Well, I think you should reverse that and say how was growth going to, you know, handle Des Drummond? Because in sheer movements, I mean, growth is a straight runner, a very, very big straight runner. But he needs room to run. I mean, Desi needs half an inch either side and it's night-night.
And the kicking could be an important factor in the match on Saturday if it's very tight. Is Lee Crooks going to do the kicking for Great Britain?
Well, at this particular stage, he'll be handed the kicking job. Actually, was going to use it today, but there's no sticks up, so it's just put a kibosh on that. But it'll be a crucial factor because it'll be a very, very tight game. I mean, people, because they're Australians and they've been playing with a lot of flair, they won't find that kind of room to move on Saturday, so, you know, it could revolve around goal kicking, and it should be a tight game.
Where's the electrical tape? There's someone like electrical tape, buddy? Jimmy? Good bag. You're on it? You're on it. 2 days? Yeah, I'll wait to I got one seat. Well, rolls, I've got to say, it is roughly right. How you reckon it's out?
Scrum, Mortimer pops it up to Wally Lewis. One-handed pass to Meninga, and he's big and he's strong. Can he get through? He can't, but he pops it up to Paul McCabe, and McCabe's in for the first try of the match. Paul McCabe wearing number 11. Finds it inside where he finds Meninga. Des Drummond stops him, but Meninga is managing to get it through to Rebo, and Rebo's in for another try. Australia 8, Lee 2. Schubert. McCabe. Miles out to Rebo. Drummond can't stop him, and Rebo's in for his second try of the night. 11 points to 2. Once again, Australia coming forward. They're really firing on all cylinders now. McCabe, who's had an excellent game so far. Schubert. That's through to Muggleton, and he's got the legs, and Muggleton goes in at the corner. To McCabe. Still with McCabe. He's got Anderson in support, and no one's going to catch Chris Anderson as he goes in for his third try of the game. A hat-trick for Chris Anderson. Gene Miles goes one way, pushes off. Oh, and what a pass from Miles, finds Muggleton, and that's it. Australia record their highest score of the tour so far.
Must be a bit frustrating for people like you and John Rebo and Chris Anderson playing well in a game like this, getting the tries, and after the Test victory last Saturday, very difficult to get in the Test side.
Oh yeah, Bob, it is disappointing, but I mean, like, you never know your luck, you know, like there's always, they play very well, every player in the Test team, but there's probably not a player out there tonight that couldn't really replace one of the guys in the Test side, you know. It's a great touring squad. The whole squad is there's a lot of good footballers here, and all we can do is keep trying to play well, you know. We're still playing for our country, even though it's against the county sides in England, but we've all just got to give our best every week, and you never know, you could fling a Test spot.
24 minutes gone, and the Australians certainly know they've got a match on their hands. They trail by 4 points to 2, and they're having the hardest match they've had since the Wigan game earlier on in the tour. So it's a penalty kick to the Australians following that scrum infringement. Ray Price goes forward on his own, doesn't get too far. Chris Anderson, dummy half, through to McCabe, and McCabe's over. First try of the match, Paul McCabe. Australia 5, Bradford Northern 4. There's Bradford coming forward. Gresham gets the ball out to Mumby. And there's a heavy tackle coming in from Price. The line touch judge is on, and the referee's calling him over. Chin of Ray Price, and if I'd have had that, I wouldn't wake up until after the third test. Redfern to Kells, out to Keith Mumby. He's in line for a test place, and he's going down that wing, playing in the centre today. Right down that wing, inside to Kells, and finally he's stopped by a combination of Groth and Brentnell. Kenny puts the ball away. Greg Brentnell, and he's in for a try. Greg Brentnell, the fullback. 10 points to 6. Long kick downfield, well in for the Australian. That's Eric Groth with the pick up. And he'll start to come forward. Cover coming across. And he's burst through the first defence and through another. Full-back Green comes across to McCabe. Into Brett Kenny, and he's in for a try. Kenny. Miles picks up, in for a simple try, fortuitous bounce, 13 points to 6. And that'll be the final score as the hooter goes. 3 minutes into the second half, and Australia lead by 16 points to 2. 4 tries from McKinnon, Sterling, who's now been replaced by Rogers, and 2 by John Rebo. And it's Australian pressure again now. Play the ball 2 yards from the Cumbrian line. McCabe inside to Rogers, and he's over. Substitute Rogers makes the score Australia 19, Cumbria 2. Greg Brentnell bursting through to Steve Ella, and he's going to make it to the line. No catching him now. Steve Ella under the post. Wally Lewis clips a neat ball through. Rogers chases. Oh, and Melman Meninga picks up out to Boosted, and this surely must be another score for the Australians. Indeed it is. Australia 31, Cumbria 2. McKinnon, long ball, and it's Meninga. He's past that tackle, and he's going to go all the way. I can't see him being caught now. Mal Meninga in for another try to add to his record, 34-2. McKinnon again out to Pearce, and Pearce breaks clear, and he's going to go all the way. The only man chasing him's a referee, and I think Pearce can beat him. Terry Moore comes at the last minute, just as Pearce drops over the line. 39 points to 2.
Wayne, a 40-point victory here tonight against Cumbria, but you didn't really have it all your own way today. They put up a bit of a fight tonight.
Yeah, well, that was the rep side for the clubs up in this area, and they put up a bit of a fight there early on, but again, they ran out of a bit of steam towards the end of the game there, and the floodgates opened a little bit, but it was by no means easy. And I didn't really fall over in the shower either up there. That happened on the field, so it was a little bit of a knock.
There were 1 or 2 knocks taken by Peter Sterling and Maxi Krilic got injuries. How are they?
They're not too bad. They'll get treatment straight away tonight, and they'll be working on it for the next few days. And I couldn't see them missing any games really.
Les Boyd was initially down to play tonight, but he didn't play as he got a knock of some sort.
Well, Boydie. There's 28 players in the squad, and you only put 13 on the field, and Les had a little bit of a knock, so probably decided not to play him. I don't know, but you can only play 13 players at once, and that's probably what they're doing.
John, you got another couple of tries tonight, and you had 3 against Lee. It must be a bit frustrating for you, not quite getting in that test side and yet scoring every game you play.
Yeah, that's right, Bob, but I had a pretty ordinary start to the tour. I just wasn't used to the conditions, and I paid the penalty. I didn't play too well, so it's just a matter of getting out there each game now and scoring tries and putting pressure on the players, because it's definitely a game-to-game proposition over here. And if I'm playing better than the blokes coming into the test or whatever, and I've got some form on the board, or if someone does unfortunately get injured, well, I'm there to play. So you just got to keep giving it your best. There's 28 great players over here, and it's a great thing just to play in the sides and be part of the Australian team. So I'm just going to go out there and try and put pressure on the other lads, and hopefully with a bit of luck, you never know what can happen in rugby league.
Right, of course, the wing positions, you're particularly strong, this Australian side, with Kerry Boasted, Eric Groth, yourself and Chris Anderson.
Yes, right.
And it's a very specialised position, really. So this makes it even more difficult for you, I should imagine.
Oh, it does. I think, Kerry's been playing good football, and so has Eric's. He's played exceptionally well ever since he got here, and like I say, it's just a matter of trying to play good football and keeping those blokes honest. And, if I can keep scoring tries, well, I'm putting pressure on them. And so it's good for the whole side then, because I'm bringing out the best in them, because pressure brings out the best in rugby league players, I think.
David, rugby league at Fulham now, it's been going for 3 years. It was an experiment, obviously, to start with. How would you say it's worked out?
I think the progress report would be very promising, John. After all, we've been struggling for, 86 years to establish the game outside the northern fastnesses, and we've had 2 tries in London before, but I have real hopes for Fulham. I think they've gone about it very much the right way. This grafting onto an already existing organisation must help. A lot of expertise, a lot of experience there. I think Harold Genders has done a splendid job in selecting the players to do the job, and I think they've just done that. They've also given a lot of attention to the game at amateur level and in the schools. Without that grassroots, of course, the game in the South would eventually not flourish. But I think they've done that very sensibly, and I'm very hopeful.
Accepting the novelty value, I mean, crowds at Craven Cottage to start with were, 6, 7, even 8,000. They're down to about 3,000. Does that worry you?
Not entirely unexpected. It was a novelty value. People came, they saw it. A lot of people liked it. They had a lot of success in their first season. Unlucky not to survive in the first division last year when the bigger names were coming down. So they're building up again. They've got a very good hardcore now, really faithful support of 3,500 to 4,000 people who always turn up at home. A large amount follow them away. And that's important because, after all, that's 4,000 people watching rugby league regularly in the metropolis, and we've never had that before, ever.
Are those people basically southerners, or are they northerners now based in the south, or people travelling from the north to watch?
They're mixed, but certainly a very high percentage, a very pleasing percentage, are southerners who'd never seen rugby league, certainly on an extended basis, before Fulham came into existence. You can hear them shouting, "Get them on side, ref," you know, real cockney there, and we love to hear them. They're very faithful, they're becoming very knowledgeable, and they're very enthusiastic, so that's been a very, very pleasing aspect of the Fulham development.
Craven Cottage, Fulham, the home, as you see there, of Fulham's soccer and rugby league clubs, and it's 71 years since the Australians came here to Craven Cottage, and then they played against an England team in an international match which the Australians won by 11 points to 6 about an hour ago. So conditions not too unpleasant as Fulham get hold of the ball for the first time with their fullback Eckersley. It's straight, and it's true. 2 points to Fulham. Herdman, and now he's lost it. Oh, and surely a great chance for the Australians to get on the score sheet, but Anderson can't hold the pass, and a great chance for Mbarki if he's got the legs. He's away down the flank, he's got past one, he can't get past the second man. Well, the Australians often register their first try round about the 20th minute. They're not far away from that at the moment. Anderson's the man in possession. But Fulham have done a good holding job so far. Schubert, he's still got the ball, and it rebounded kindly for him, and there is the first try for Mark Murray. Well, there was an element of fortune there, because Schubert was really juggling with the ball like a bar of soap, and then as he turned round he found himself in space. I think he confused everybody unwittingly. Carried on with a good run though, turned the ball inside, and Mark Murray sprints over between the sticks. Kicked them that one right under the posts. The sort that goal kickers dream about. Should surely be 2 more points. It is. This from Rod Reddy. On into the gap went Lewis, and outside must be an overlap if they can work the ball back. At that time McCabe, well, it turned inside to Eller, and Steve Eller goes in for his customary try. Every time Steve Eller puts on the Australian jersey, he seems to figure among the try scorers. And it didn't hurt Wally Lewis. Now Mortimer. Oh, he's got through the gap well, and turn it inside for Eller. There must be a try here. Eller's going all the way himself, and finally gets it away to McCabe, who's over. They're right under the posts as well as McKinnon goes for the line, and he's got his man in. The 4th try of the afternoon. It goes to John Muggleton. Cambriani was alert then. Suto. Bodel tries to knock it on to Tufts. Well, there'll be a gap opening up if they can win the sprint. Now then, is there a dramatic try on here for Fulham? Mbarki's chasing it with Eller, who's there. Mbarki's over. He's got the try. Lewis back inside for Eller, and oh, if McKinnon gets it as he does, it must be a try. Crossley willing to run it. Oh, he's lost the ball, and what a place to lose it in. There must surely be a try here for John Rebo. Well, he won't get an easier try on this tour. And that really was a tragedy for John Crossley, who lost possession in the worst conceivable place. And Rebo, the simplest of tasks to capitalise. Steve, I thought that was your best performance of the tour.
Thanks very much, John. It was a good performance, part of a very good side, because Fulham played very, very well.
They're a second division side, and yet they've probably given you as good a game as anyone.
Well, if they're a second division side, I don't know why they're not in the first division, because they certainly tested us today, and I think full marks must go to Fulham. They played very well.
Conditions must have been very difficult. It rained for part of the game and for a good long time before the match.
Yes, it was very difficult, but that's something we have come to expect over here in England, and so we've got to combat that by making sure of our handling and passing of the ball. But I thought it was just typical today of what we're expecting, and I think we've just got to probably cut our mistake rate down a little bit.
How conscious do you think the 13 players out there were that you were just 6 days away from a test match?
Oh, very conscious. Like the competition, especially in my position too, but the competition in all the positions is very, very intense, so there's no sort of really second string side, because everyone is playing for a test position, and as you know, the competition brings the best out into anyone, and Australia, I think, has got 2 capable test sides, and everyone's striving to get in that first 13.
You were voted the best player by your own colleagues, which must mean a lot to you, and it must put you with a bit of a hope for next week.
Well, look, it certainly does. gives me a sort of a vote of confidence. But the fellow ahead of me too, Peter Sterling, and the fellow I played alongside today too, Mark Murray, are two fine halfbacks, and it really is good to be part of the top 3 halfbacks. So it's certainly, Peter's there, and I've got to chase him now. So I'll be doing my best in the future games.
The Australians then come here to Hull tonight, looking to set up a new record. They've won their first 11 matches on this tour, amassing an incredible 332 points. And if they win tonight, well, it'll be the most successful start ever by a Kangaroo touring team. Got everything on their plates tonight. Steve Rogers the kick-off, and the ball picked up on that far side by Dane O'Hara. So it was the suspicion of a knock-on, but now Keith Bridges up to play the ball. Experienced hooker, of course, from Featherstone Rovers and Bradford Northern. Sterling, first time we've really seen him. Kenny, nice passing. Rogers trying to make the break. And Meninga is held on that touchline. And got a lot to offer this game of rugby league as Lee Crooks, who's in possession once more. Great cheers going up all around there. Now the touch judge on this side is on the field, and not surprising, punches being flung left, right and centre. Again, Boyd was in the middle of it, and so was Lee Crooks. And the touch judge immediately came to intervene. The referee was on the spot. That's the third time there has been fighting of that sort in the opening minutes of this game. Boosted will play the ball back. Sterling's looking for it and gets it. A little kick through. Oh, it could be a good one. Oh, it hits the foot of the post, and it's a Hull player that falls on it. A good attacking position here. Toplish trying to work things with Crane. They've lost the ball. It's coming wide though. Can Prendeville get in the corner? He might well do. Prendeville almost making it, tried to squirm his way in at the corner. So 28 minutes of this game are gone, and here's Lee Crooks. 2 points. Yards to go to the line, but Hull really willing to fling this ball about. Crooks once more for fullback Kemble. The Australian tackling there exemplary, but still Hull driving at the line. The little chip through. He's there. It's a try for Hull right on the stroke of half-time. And that's a brilliant try from David Toplish, which puts Hull into a 5-point lead with power to add. What a way this will be to send the teams in at half-time if Crooks kicks the goal. And we're going to have a real match on in the second half. Crooks, 7-0. A little bit scruffy out there at the moment. Sterling tries to bring some semblance of order to it. Now Reddy's gone well. Good running, and Brett Kenny, the pass wasn't a good one. He was too far behind Meninga, too far ahead of Rogers, but he's still got possession. Steve Rogers showing what a good centre is, and getting the pass into Peter Sterling. Sterling got 2 tries at Hull Kingston Rovers. If he can get his man in here for Australia, as he has indeed, and Boosted has got the try, and that all stemmed from the play by Peter Sterling. Let's see if he can get both here. Constant whistling around the ground, trying to put Mal Meninga off. I don't think that will worry him too much, and that looks a much better kick, but it's drifted wide in front of the posts. Stuck at it well then, did Crooks. aided by Luluai Sterling. There could well be a big gap here if Pearce can get the ball away as he does to Meninga, who's off down that touchline, and tackle from Kemble. He's got the ball back inside though to Growth. That was brilliant football by the Australians. First of all by Sterling, then by Meninga doing down the touchline, and finally by Eric Growth, who got the touchdown and knows the Australians in front. Not an easy kick by any means, and it's drifted across the face of the posts, so Hull still have the lead, 7-6. Again, the constant banging around the ground, trying to put Meninga off. We'll soon know when we watch the touch judges' flags. There's the kick, it's flat, oh, and it's through. But how lucky, and that maybe has signalled the change of fortunes that Australia needed. The ball canning in off and upright. Now Krilic back inside for Reddy, and Reddy still going. He's been superb too. Rodgers has Growth outside him. Can Rodgers get in? With his brute strength he can. Eric Growth, and the Australians leap in the air. They know that that could well have sealed it. Meninga's kick to come. And this time it looks plumb. That is a superb kick from Meninga. Pressure's off. Australia lead 13-7, and that surely is going to be enough. But don't they know they've been in a scrap? But it really was a marvellous performance by Hull. Their crowd are singing them off the pitch. Well, after that try from David Topless just before half-time and a couple of goals from Lee Crooks had sent Hull in leading 7-0 at half-time, Australia really had to raise their game in the second half. That was exactly what they did, with those tries from Growth 2 and Boosted and a couple of goals from Meninga. So these are the most successful Kangaroos ever to visit Great Britain, having won their first 12 matches of the tour. That is a new record, and in so doing they've totted up 345 points. It really is a marvellous way for them to go into the second test at Wigan on Saturday. Once more then, the final score here at the Boulevard is Hull 7, Australia 13. Mal, I don't think there's any question about it. That's probably the hardest game you've had.
Definitely the hardest. We came here tonight and expecting a hard one, and we got one.
Were you worried at all at any stage you might just get beaten?
Oh, no, we're always worried, you know, especially when they went 7-0 up at half-time, you know. But we were playing well at the time. They were playing a little bit better, but, you know, the second half we come out a bit fired and, you know, we got the results, which was the main thing.
There must have been some strong words in the dressing room at half-time, I imagine, because you really did come out and take the game by the scruff of the neck.
No, there wasn't really harsh words, but and we were playing fairly well at that stage, and we didn't have much possession in that first half, and Hull had us camped down our line all the time, and it was a very clever chip kick. They got the score to try, and we came back, and that proves our character, and so we can continue, keep on winning.
How much does it mean to you, the fact you've now set up a record as the most successful Kangaroo touring team, winning the first 12 matches?
Well, you know, it's a tremendous thing to be part of. You know, it's we've got a lot of criticism when the team was first picked over in Australia, and you know, we're very pleased that we did break the record, and just I hope we can set a new record and win all the games over here in England.
It can be dangerous, of course, to have your mind on records, can't it? You've got to take every match really as it comes.
Well, that's right. Yeah. Well, you know, we can't rest on our last game. We've got to go out there and play to the best of our ability on the night.
Are you very aware that you've become something of a personality yourself on this tour? You've been the star picked out, haven't you?
Rather surprised, you know. It's I've had a few lucky breaks now. They've picked me up first up, and I've been part of some good wins.
Well, Widnes were one of only two sides to beat the Kangaroos on their last tour here 4 years ago, and fullback Mick Burke, who takes his place again in this lineup, kicked 4 goals that day in a famous 11-10 victory. Only one other survivor from that side, and that's Keith Elwell, the little hooker, and he's almost always present in any Widnes side. Rod Morris, the Australian prop forward, there he is, looking for the sort of display which will win him selection. So Widnes' kick off, and it's Steve Ella playing at fullback who'll go back, and the ball running dead. And so Australia coming back to the 25. The Widnes side, unfortunately, lacking the sort of names that are customary whenever they line up. Eric Hughes, Les Gawley, Eddie Cunningham, Mick Adams and Mike O'Neill, all missing from the Widnes side. Round the corner style of the Widnes fullback. And that looks pretty straight to me, and it's got the length as well. It's 2 points for Widnes, and a good kick, that one from Burke. Brown has been very much involved. Rogers, nice little ball. Schubert was coming through right, not at just the right time. Did well to cling on. Good spotting again by Widnes. Morris, and it's going to be out on that far side to John Rebo's. Got plenty of strength, and it took a diving tackle there to stop him getting in at the corner. Oh, and almost an interception, the ball falling back and kindly for Paul McCabe, and it's back to 6 tackles. Well, there was certainly a danger of an interception there for Widnes, which didn't work out, and Mortimer is going through and gets the first try of the night. And that's Steve Mortimer's first try on the tour. He's got 9 so far. Carrying play forward. Lewis flinging out a really long pass for Meninga, who's going, and he's going strong. Meninga, this is the best sight. Tremendous run from Meninga. Look at the rain streaming down. It's an absolutely horrible night here. Oh, but good play there, working the ball to McCabe, who's going to go all the way, and that really is a superb try. You might say that there was a question mark against the Widnes tackling, but all credit to Paul McCabe, a really rangy second rower. He reckons he's due to kick one. I reckon he is too. If he doesn't, he really will be thinking it's not his night. 28 minutes gone as Mal Meninga comes up and places it firmly between the posts. Ray could go all the way himself, I suspect, if he uses his brute strength. He's got plenty of that. He's still going. You see what I mean there. Meninga carrying play to within 10 yards of the Widnes line. For Brown, he looks more like Kenny Everett every day to me. And Mortimer jinking and wriggling his way through to try and get Rod Morris over. Rod Morris, one of the few Aussies on this tour who's not yet scored a try. And Ella, Mortimer is over the line. Mortimer's there again for his second try. Elwell, Gregory trying the kick, another high one, putting full-back Ella under pressure. Oh, what a good calm catch. Certainly appears to be the problem. I was a bit surprised when that was given, but Big Burke does have a chance of getting more points for Widnes. It's a fairly straight kick, and it looks a good kick too. Up go the flags, 2 more points for Mick Burke. And the crowd on the far side seemed to spot something there that we didn't on this side, so play continues. And Lewis, who's looking much better, and Meninga is going. Now then, has Meninga got the ability to get the ball out to Rebo? He certainly has. Can Rebo get on the outside of his man? Well, he got on the outside all right, and did well to stay in play. And Mortimer wants it again. Keen for the action. Rebo, good ball that one. Rebo looking inside, going outside, and finally getting the ball down over the try line. There's 8 minutes to go. There's been a little bit of treatment for David Hume. Well, that's not a bad kick out actually. That's taking it beyond halfway for Steve Ella. He's got to run at them now. Decides to go down the middle. Skip side of one. Oh, still going Steve Ella. Did well in the end. Did very, very well, really, to get midway inside the 25. But Australia would love to get another try now, and they might well get it here. Oh, what a powerful run, and what a magnificent try that one is by Steve Rogers. Well, this should be safe enough and easy enough for Mal Meninga. And if he's successful, Australia will forge into a very convincing lead. Yes, up go the flags. It's in, and it's 19-6. Well, there have been now, I'm told, 35 penalties as the hooter goes. The referee blows his whistle. The Australians carry on. They march on, in fact, still unbeaten after 14 games. Chris, an absolutely filthy night here in Widnes. Was it nice to be back?
Yeah, I enjoyed coming back. I had a tremendous time when I was here in '74. It's nice to come back and beat them.
Nostalgic trip in many ways. What did you think of the Widnes performance?
I don't think they're as good a side as I used to be. I think we had to measure most of the night.
It must be very difficult for a winger in conditions like that. You must itch to get more into the game, really.
Yeah, it is hard to get into a game like that. the ball concentrated in the forwards most of the game. It was just too slippery to throw it around too much. But we got to see a little bit of it.
All right. Are you disappointed not to get on the try sheet?
Yeah, it would have been nice, but they're the breaks.
And also, I suspect disappointed not to have made the test side over here, but you've had quite a competition, haven't you, for places, really?
Yeah, not overly disappointed. I struggled. I didn't play many games back home this season, so it was a little bit hard to force yourself into the test side, and with them playing so well, it's just it's hard to drop anyone.
Well, here you go into the final test, 14 wins out of 14. Surely you're not going to let the record go now?
No, the boys are very keen to win the final test. It's never been done before in every game in England, and it'll be tremendous to be part of it.
Yeah, you've been on a tour before here, of course. What's made the difference this time, do you think?
I don't think the football over here is as good as it was in '78. Plus, this is a real good side. They've played tremendous football, the Australian side. But I don't think the English side is as strong as they used to be.
Frank, how do you rate today's performance by the Kangaroos?
I thought it was a great performance. The English challenge was much more formidable than it has been, and at half-time we were in quite a bit of trouble. But our fellows stuck to their guns, and they showed a lot of maturity for their age.
Certainly showed a lot more heart and courage today. Did they have you worried at any stage?
Yes, they did. We obviously were concerned at half-time, and up until half-time they'd been handing out a fair bit of stick, and our fellows trying not to retaliate, but we're getting embroiled in it, and it could have been that our concentration might have gone on to other things rather than the football that we're capable of playing.
Frank, the big question that everyone's worried about or wondering about is whether or not you're actually going to coach the Kangaroos again.
Oh, well, I think that's been fairly well documented. I've already said that this is my last tour as a coach, and I can see no reason at this stage to change my mind.
How are you feeling tonight?
Well, I'm quite elated, to say the least. I'd say it's been a magnificent tour for myself personally and for the rest of the players. It's a great thing for myself and also the players. It's something that really you dream of, and it's really happened to me.
When you got that try at last, that must have felt wonderful.
Well, actually, it was wonderful. I've got a standing thing with one of the players that we're having a betting competition who can score the most tries, and he's won and I'm one now. And actually, all the players I don't think of on the outside don't want me to score. So it was a great thing, particularly at that crucial moment, and I was really, really thrilled about it.
It's been said here that this is the greatest Kangaroo team of all time. Do you believe that?
Well, I can't really comment about that. I can only comment about this side and the last side, and I think it's a better side than the last side. But you know, it is a very good team. Very good team. It's very well complemented to each player. Looks after the other man. There's no individualists at all, and that's one of the successes of our team.
One of the things that has struck me is the rapport that the Australian touring side have got with the British public. It's something totally different and never really been seen before.
Well, that's very true, but I think that if you're an outstanding sports person or you're an outstanding team, and this is not one team of 13, it's one team of 33. The 28 players and the management of 5, being the coach and the 2 managers, doctor and trainer, they've all been a part of something that's been a wonderful experience for me. And I've been on a lot of football trips, but this is the greatest bunch of Australian sportsmen I've ever been with in my life.
You've been at the final test between Great Britain and Australia today. What were your impressions on the game?
I found it exhilarating. I haven't seen either of the other 2 tests. Due to very sparse television coverage, I've hardly seen the Australians except when they played Fulham. I was very impressed, but I was also impressed by Great Britain's performance. It was rather like a prize fight between a champion and a challenger, and the challenger knowing that he wasn't quite good enough, but putting everything he had, a heart, muscle, into the fight, and coming off worse but with glory. That's how I looked at it.
You've just seen the final test in this series, Australia versus Great Britain, and you were here in 1960 as coach for Australia, and of course everybody in Great Britain knows you as Big A. How did you think today's game went?
I thought it was just normal just to win. I mean, they could have put the second team in and killed them, you know. But I think this is one of the finest sides I've ever seen. I've watched every team since 1948, when I played for Leeds in 47. I've seen every Australian team since 1948 tour this country. I've done a lot of work for the Australians as liaison officer, this, that and the other. But they were tremendous, this side, and I don't think I've seen a finer side in my life.